Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome, ladies and gents, to this fortnight installment of the Ish Plus 6 podcast, the podcast series where you can discover your next favorite artist. On today's episode, I am joined by the one and only Baski. Baski is an East London-based plug-and-be artist making waves in the underground community alongside his peers with the underground sound right now. Baski is definitely one of those artists you're going to want to keep a keen eye on over the next few years. You will definitely need to make sure you go and check out Baski's most recent release, Make It Sexy, the EP, on all platforms, and please welcome Baski to the Ish Plus 6 podcast. What's going on, Baski? What's up? Talk to me.
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. Honestly, I am living. I'm just here in Essex. You know the vibes. Is it Baski? Is it Baski plus? What? How do you pronounce the name?
Yeah. The funny joke about that is, realistic. I've got so I started making music when I was 17, 18, but then I wasn't really taking it seriously. So then I used to go under BXSKII. It's still Baski, but just different spelling. And basically, I've got 3-4 different Spotify's, Apple Music's, just under different names. But then Baski Plus is cool, I take music seriously now. And then that's just, you can call me Baski, innit? But Baski Plus is
Baski Plus is like the 5S to the iPhone 5, I guess, or something like
that. Yeah, it's a little upgrade there, because I didn't drop no projects before. And obviously, I wasn't working with Finch before, so it's a little upgrade still,
Yeah, man, I feel that. It's hard still. Right? It's hard. You've seen every single episode of the podcast before. Obviously, you know that we always start off with a joke. And today's no different. Let's just get into it. Viewers know I'm over this segment, but it's one of those things that we need to get out of the way. Cool. Why wasn't Steve Jobs allowed to fart at home?
I want to actually do it, though. That's the thing. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. No. I tried to think, but I couldn't.
Why wasn't Steve Jobs?
Oh wait, no. Wait, I know. Because they had no windows.
Nah, man, no, bro, come on. We have to.
I got it.
No. We have to take that.
Nah, I'm saying. I knew it. I was like, wait, nah. They got nah. That's clutch. That is clutch gene, bro. That's ice in my veins right there.
Do you know what it is? You're literally the first person to ever guess a punchline in this entire history of this thing that I've got going on.
Half my vocab is just corny ass jokes, bro. Don't worry, I'm the dad joke king. That one, I was like, nah, I've heard that before. That one spoke to me. I was like, I was like, you know what it was? Right before I was about to send it to you, I was like, no, Microsoft, bro. You had beef, bro. Think about it. Use your brain. I was like, yeah, say less. We're there, fam. We can run another thing, though. If I get it.
I don't even have another one, though. That's the thing. I just be think one joke at a time for Reddit. Man, that's
the first episode. Everything changes, man. It's all different now.
Let's peek, man. We'll run the credits here. That's it. That's the end of the episode, guys. Let's just get into the questions. Talk us through the origin story a little bit. You mentioned that obviously you've been making music since around 2017, which is longer ago than it feels like. But talk to me about the origin story. Obviously, you said your name was originally Baski, but spelt a bit differently. How did the name Baski come about? All of that.
So obviously, I would say the way the name Baski came around was because of Basquiat, the painter. I was not obsessed with him, but I was like, I fuck with him. I fuck with everything he stands for, like his art as well. Like, then I watched a couple documentaries and I watched a movie about him. I was just like, it was someone I resonated with. So I was like, alright, cool. If I need a rap name, it's like, cool. That's what I fuck with, innit? I would like to be the Basquiat of music, if that makes sense. And that's a big ask, innit? But I would like to do that, all said and done, innit? I think what got me into music was because my brother makes music as well, and we just come from a musical family. Everyone's got a cool rhythm to them. Everyone has a passion for music, so it's just it weren't too hard to want to make music. And then obviously all my friends started getting into it. But then I can't lie, I weren't taking it seriously. My would make tunes, drop tunes, but then I would take like extended breaks and like just not care, like just be like not trying to move the music forward, innit? And now it's like I would say it's like the last two, maybe maximum three in it. Because I want to say COVID slowed everything down because just like I didn't want to do nothing in it. Like I was just stuck in my yard, like so I wasn't really worried about music. I would say like since COVID ended till now, it's just been like head switched on in it. Like everything's been moving, so I can't complain.
Yeah, man, for real. Yeah, COVID was definitely a very strange time in it.
It
I'm so,
was so mad, but I feel like it was so needed. Because I can't lie, before lockdown, the world was in shambles. Like,
it
just
was
nothing was going correct. Like, and then like even now, it's still in shambles. But I feel like niggas had to sit down for a bit. Like,
that. You know what? That's very real that you said that because yeah, when I think about it, everyone did just need a bit of a break. Like everyone was very tired before.
no facts. It was just like obviously like the circumstances were not ideal in it, but like it was a needed break from the world. Then like obviously like RIP to the ones that didn't make it, but that shit was low. Sorry.
You know what it is? It's the way you said it. That
I know, and I did it afterwards. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm my bad. That's my bad. But that's genuine, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
obviously, like, people didn't make it, but it was like Larry said, it was a needed break. I feel like everyone needed time out type shit. And then like, yeah, bro,
some people
even the
longer
planet
than
was
others, I guess. But yeah, this.
yeah, it's a double-edged sword, but like, it's vibes, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, man,
So
for real. So you only got into music in 2017, then essentially, is that what you're saying?
that's like the first time well, not the first time. Jokes, yeah. The first time I recorded a tune, I was 7 in Jamaica, innit?
Mm.
So, but that was like literally my brother wrote the verse. I just like did the verse in it. But the
Yeah,
first time like I went studio with my boys, I was like 17, 18. Yeah, so like 2017 times, in it. No,
yeah.
016. So I was like 17. And then it was just like I was like it was just like going studio nearly every day. Like literally splitting the session between 3 men, like making like 4 or 5 tunes. Like I don't know how we used to do it, but we made it happen. Like me and my boy Relly, my boy KSG, like we just made shit happen, innit? Like I don't know how.
Yeah,
But then
exactly.
turned into then obviously develop a sound in it. I wouldn't say I had found my sound at that point. I knew what I was comfortable on and like what type of beats I was comfortable on. And then obviously like finish out with man. Everything just went. And now we're here today. So it's lit. No complaints on it, man.
I feel that, man. And yeah, to be honest, I do want to talk a little bit about your collaborations a little bit later on in the episode, actually. I do have a couple of questions about that. But first off, I do want to talk about your recent EP, Millennia. Congratulations on that. First project of the year, 4 tracks. From the cover itself, it's I'm not gonna lie, you do just look out of it on the cover. I want to talk about like your like what was going on that, what message you were trying to portray, all of that kind of thing.
So basically, like with Millennia, it was like with all my music, I kind of tried to do it like, well, some songs it's like obviously it's my life, but then exaggerated. But
Yeah,
then with Millennia, it was like I kind of wanted to take on like a little character somewhat. So it's just like imagine like essentially a light skinned Tony Montana in it. Like I'm not screaming.
oh,
Everyone,
Tony Montana. I didn't know
yeah,
what you
yeah,
said.
yeah. Sorry, I'll be mumbling. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Yeah, no,
But
it's
it's
calm.
just like a man is at the top, but he's just drained in it. Like he's got everything. Like it looks like he's having the time of his life, but he just feels like shit. That's why I had the nice suit. The colors was going around. Then obviously like Millennia. When I think of that, it just sounded like like expansive, something distant. Like it was just like just wanted to create a little vibe. But that's something definitely I feel like I want to build on. So I feel like like it was only 4 tracks. It was short, like, but I just felt like it gave them a little little sign. But there's more to come in it. Like Make It Sexy comes out later tonight. So like by the time that this is out, that will be out. And then bro, it's just building on top of everything that we left behind.
Yeah, man.
That's
Is Make It Sexy? Is that an EP, a single? What? To be
that's
fair,
a that's a 6 or 7 track project. Me and Finch is a collab tape, isn't it?
oh,
And
right.
it's got
To be
features.
fair,
A couple
we are
members.
talking in the future right now because this will come out in a couple of weeks. So, in terms of that project as a whole, can you talk to me about yeah, I guess similar to Millennia, the were you taking on a character? Was it a bit of a what kind of person were you when making Make It Sexy?
I feel like because Make It Sexy was the thing is with Make It Sexy, yeah, which I
Mm.
kind of like. It was like it was a thing where like man was just making bare songs, but I didn't really have a project in mind. It's like with Millennial, like I had a project in mind, yeah, but then there's like Finch already had the project in mind. So like I'm making the tunes and Finch was putting them away. Like you don't realize you're telling a story, innit? So it was one of them ones. So it was just like I feel like it was really just like a transitional period of my life, and I was just like, "Alright, cool, I'm putting
Yeah.
that on. So like I kind of got lucky because like yeah, bro, everything flows just like perfectly. So it was a thing where it's just like yeah, my mom basically came to me and said like yo, you told a story by accident, like let's run with it.
And
And then
Finch is Finch Fetty. He is the producer, isn't he? You're one of your producers.
yeah, that's the goat right there, bro. I can't lie. The thing is with Finch, yeah, when they go the first day Finch shouted me, yeah, he sent me beats, yeah. I literally typed to everyone in the studio. I was like, this nigga is the goat. Because it was like, bro, when I told you, I found my sound immediately. It was just like I've had like I usually go on the slower beats here, but it's like when I tell someone send me a slow beat, they'll send me the most like, oh, I miss my girl, which like I can do that lyrically, but then Finch had that balance where like the melody is like smooth, yeah, but then drums is making dance, like, and that's what I needed. Like I just weren't always getting that, so it was just
Yeah.
like, well, got into the moon, fam. That's all I can say.
Yeah, exactly. Because I do know that on two tracks in particular on the tail end of last year, Different Colors and BMH,
Mm.
they that definitely fit the description perfectly. And I suppose going into this year, some of the stuff that you have released, it does seem a bit more down tempo than what you were releasing last year. I
Yeah,
could be
yeah.
wrong, but is that something that you consciously had in mind, or is that just
It was
so-
just to go with the seasons, innit? Because like realistically, Millennia came out like in winter, innit? So I wanted something to just match the mood, like because I didn't want to give them another like more upbeat tune and they can't step out and listen to that, or like they can't go to a motive and bump that. So it was a thing where it's like I had to make like indoor music for a bit, but now it's like I feel like especially with Make It Sexy, it's a good blend of everything, and then it's just like for me, this is my start of year, if that makes sense. So it's like my shit kicks off now, and everything I like drop is basically just like a reflection of the time and like obviously how I'm feeling. But definitely, I feel like the energy is gonna ramp up, and then towards winter, I'll see if I can sneak another project out there, just something like a little chapter close.
ease people out? Yeah.
Yeah, man, because it's like as much as it's good to have tunes that is like they're bumping all the time. It's like that's like energy. It's like that's just not really what I'm known for, innit? So like I'm not trying to give people something that's too out there like for like what I can do like because I could do pretty much anything, but it's just like I know what my listeners want from me if that makes sense. So like I have to give them a little blend in it while like building on top of it.
I feel that, man. I feel that. Um, so on the EP, it's pretty clear that freestyling is sort of like a style of delivery that you tend to prefer to do. You've mentioned it in previous interviews as well.
I don't
What
write a lot.
benefits would you say that you get from freestyling in comparison to just sitting down with like a pad and paper or typewriter or whatever and actually curating a story?
I think for me personally, it gives me more freedom to like just be more honest because it's like realistically, if I'm going through something and I feel the need to have to record, I'm gonna say exactly what's on my mind, and I'm like, I'm lucky in the sense where like I can just make that rhyme. So it's a thing where it's like I feel like, especially for me, when I have to sit down and proper slow my brain down and think about like, I just struggle. Like, I struggle too much. Then I overthink the bars, and then it's just like that's one thing I don't want to do is like I write what I think is the sickest bar ever. Yeah, then someone's like, oh, that's mid, and then I freestyle something I think is mid, and everyone's like, oh, that's hard, because that's happened before. So it's just like I don't know, but I would say like I'm not completely totally against writing anymore. It's more of like a like depends in it. Because sometimes it's like, yeah, you have a great bar and then you just need to build up on top of that. And then like get lucky and then like that beat matches this whole song. So it's like I would say my process is a lot less linear than it used to be, in it.
Yeah,
which is like,
exactly. Do you tend to write stuff down and like note it down in your notes app or whatever, or is it what's the situation like?
so like randomly if I hear like, because like I always just be singing a melody in it. So like if I get a melody, that goes straight into my memo. If I just like if I hear a cool quote or like something I feel like just resonates with me, then like I'll write it down and then like sometimes I'll put it in a song. But I can't lie, like my notes is filled with bare like unused bars, which is weird. Cause it's like I'll have mad bars like just there on my phone, but when it's time to record, I'm like, this half one now. So it's like I don't even know like what's the point of writing sometimes.
I feel that, man. I
But
feel that. And to be fair, yeah, it's interesting you mentioned about like freestyling and all of that because I know that people like even Lancey, who is essentially he's as high mainstream as you can get while being underground right now. You know what I mean? Like he literally most of his recent album, Life in Hell, was freestyled, which is crazy to me. And
it's mad, like, because like, you gotta understand, like when like sometimes like when you're just barring off, it's like you're just in that zone, like so
exactly.
it's bro, we'll just keep going. Then obviously like when you're working on that album, you're going through like 100, maybe 200 tracks. If you find like the 10 best out of that, and it's just like, bro, drop a classic, man. So that's why
100
it's
to
like,
200 tracks though. Are you sure? That's crazy.
we'll be like, I'm not even gonna lie, yeah. For me personally, I know for a fact I can make like 100 to 200 tracks in like 3 months without even thinking about it. Like if you get into that routine of just like making bare tunes, and it's like realistically, I kind of have like not really a formula, but it's like cool. I know, yeah, I'm gonna spend most of my time on a hook, and then the verse is just gonna be based off the hook. Does that make sense? So like once
Yeah.
I go into like every tune knowing that it's just like it becomes easier, and then it just varies because like sometimes you want to go crazy on the back of vocals and add like 20 layers, so it takes up time in it. But like, obviously, like bro, realistically, if you're hungry about the shit, like you'll do that, bro. Like, make music fun in it, like realistically, like imagine like no one's dropping tunes that you're feeling, you can just go make one.
I feel that, man. I do want to talk a little bit about I you are coming to us from London, right? That is
Yeah, I'm so
you're in West, sorry?
barking.
But oh right, yeah, of course, yeah, because I know that you've mentioned in the past about like sort of people claiming that it's not a part of London and that
Yeah, they
kind of
try to
thing.
chat
So
shit, bro. We're London. I don't care, bro. Because guys that live like in ends with no train services, you gotta grab a bus every 30 minutes when they be saying, "Oh, nah, man, you gonna like that's dead,
yeah,
that's dead."
exactly.
I can walk to East Ham right now.
Honestly,
Like,
man, yeah, exactly. Like I don't
nope,
understand when
bro.
people literally there are underground services that go all the way to West Ham.
It's
It's
insane, bro. They go to fucking like Hornchurch and that. Like, bro, like, what's going on, bro? Like, what's going on? Like, you're
exactly
getting caught up on the postcode. Like, fuck off. No one, like, we none of us own this land. Just let me
people.
claim London. Please, London.
Exactly, man. People love to gatekeep that stuff. Is I don't know. It's bad vibes. It is bad vibes. I will say that.
That being said, if I lived like in like zone two, zone three, I'm doing the same thing.
I mean, yeah. To be fair,
Yeah, like, but right, I mean, it's like, bro, like realistically, the way I look at Barking, it's like my little brother. I can chat shit with my little brother. Don't
yeah,
no one else try to get involved because now I have to stick up for him. Like, I don't even really want to. Like, that's my guy. That's not really my guy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
maybe
I
a brother,
feel that.
maybe like acquaintance. I don't know, friend of a friend.
I feel that, man. Is Barking where like you were born and raised kind of thing, or is it like
I'm. I was born in South, yeah. Then we got moved around South a lot. But like I've got a lot more family in South London than in Barking, innit? But in year seven, that's when I completely moved to Barking. But before that, I was going in between, innit? Because like my mum and my brother was firmly in Barking. So like my brother was going to secondary school here, but I was still going primary school in South. And like sometimes staying out there, innit? So like I don't know. I've known more like this is the first place where I've like cool, we've had a yard where it's like we're not moving for a while, innit? So that's why I like Barking, because it's like it's that stability in it. Like, I think of stability when I think of Barking, even though
yeah,
it's
man.
fucked around here. But
Yeah,
like,
I
when,
feel
like
that.
yeah, it's very weird. Like, just, all I remember like living in South is like we just moved like every 3 weeks. And I'm just like, alright, cool. Like this is vibes, but like the fuck,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
sometimes we put in some weird places and just like some any random families there. I'm just like, who are these guys? Like, I'm like 6 years old. I don't know, brothers. Like. Why are they in my kitchen? Or what I think is my kitchen? Like, I
Just
don't even
coming
know
home
what
from
kitchen.
school is just some guy just sat.
Damn. Any random Polish brother. No offense to the Polish guys, because I fuck with Poland. Like, I've never
Yeah.
been there.
Yeah.
What is that? If I get booked in Poland, then like, I'm just gonna cover my bases. Like,
Yeah,
I have no
exactly.
beef with Poland. I hope
I
they
feel
like.
that, man. Yeah. And yeah, nah, it must be weird. It must have been weird. And to be fair, I go through barking a lot when I'm going into London for whatever event or whatever. And all I know about barking is the song Potter Paper, and then you look on one side of the station, like you look up on one side, and it's just these old ass houses or old ass flats, and then you look on the other side, and it's just this gentrified looking thing that looks like it was built last year. It's the
Yeah, like,
craziest thing.
bro, Barking's getting gentrified, and I've been telling people, and they don't want to listen. But I'm like, fam, the one we got at Costa, I knew it was about to change. Then we got the Starbucks right across the road. I
Yeah,
was like, bro, they're trying to shake it up, fam. But this is the game, innit? Like, you just gotta get your bread up, man. Just move
exactly,
up
man.
after the kick you out. That's the plan, fam.
As soon as you see that Costa or Starbucks, it's like, yeah, okay, now it's time to start pinching pennies because
Oh, you gotta start thinking of an exit route because they're gonna change it to New Haven. Like, that's the thing. I don't.
exactly, man.
Gentrification is fucked. That's all fucked.
Exactly,
Because when I
man.
go to like parts of South that I used to grow up from, like, yeah,
And the thing is, I always want to say Boris is taking it too. It's not even Boris anymore.
it's just the whole Tory government, man. They've been shagging us for a minute, but it's type shit where it's like, obviously, mine was a youth when they first came in, so I wasn't really fully aware of how bad it's gonna be. Now it's like, alright, cool. I'm 23. I'm getting taxed and that. I'm pissed off. This shit is not on. Like now, I'm trying to like, bro. Being on Twitter is annoying because like, bro, you're seeing how other countries are doing it, how they're
Yeah,
not taking. It. Like, we're just here chilling. But it's a thing where it's like, bro, someone has to do it first. If someone sets it off, we'll all back it, and that is the problem. Because no,
exactly.
I ain't trying to set it off. 'Cause I got work soon, but like, someone needs to do it.
Yeah,
Someone needs to do it, bro. Like, I don't know, man. I don't
that's,
know, but it's like, yeah, I don't know.
that's the
Because
thing
someone will
about
benefit.
that's the thing about the UK. And honestly, yeah, like we can't talk about protesting and setting
Bro,
stuff off without talking about France because all I've been
I
seeing.
might not. They're 100, but I feel like they do it for banks. I don't like honestly. I genuinely feel like them man are just on smoke like for no reason. Like niggas is outside, they don't know what they're fighting for. They're like, "What's going on today, bro?" It's like, fam, I don't even know. I
Just
see them
chucking bricks for
fireworks.
no reason. They're like, yeah, sure, why not?
Like realistically, it's like when bare black man see someone running, they're all gonna start running. If I see like 50 man fucking up like the whole strip and no one's stopping them, I might join in, you know. Like if niggas is all like, I don't know. I like a good chant in it. I realized like I love a good like something we all sing together. I don't know. It's just like
Brits
football,
love
isn't
that. Yeah, Brits do love a good chant. It's,
it?
I'm sorry, that thing about France is still killing me though, because really, every time it's like every week I open
Almost
up
every
Twitter
week, like I don't
and
even nothing about their government or nothing or their politics, but they are fighting for something like
I don't,
respect. Like, yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah, and yeah, no, because the thing is, we are capable of it. We really are capable of it. It's just that it only happens like once a decade at this point.
I don't know. You know what it is, yeah. I realize with England, yeah, it's a
Mm.
build up to it. It's like we need to have like a good 10 years strike, like you said, 10 years of just getting trod on, and then it's just like, nah, fuck that. But France, same day, bro. Get back is done. He said, nah, bro, I'm not sleeping on that. What do you mean
Exactly.
you're changing the laws? Like, nah, fuck that. This don't sit right with me. But I don't know, like, I feel like, yeah, man. If everyone starts, I'll join them. If you guys do it first, I'll do it still.
So my main question about the London thing was talking about how London shapes the artist you are today. Would you say that it had any effect, or would you like if you were growing up in like I don't know Surrey or Blackpool or whatever, you'd have been the same artist you are today? Would you reckon?
Like, I would definitely be a different artist because I feel like you're definitely like a reflection of your environment. And like, cause London is so like London is small, but like we like when we negate to remember that like all the time. Cause like realistically, when you go to other countries and you realize like, cool, to get to the other side of the city, it's gonna take you like 2-3 hours. You realize like, okay, London's kind of small. So it's like you see a lot, like you end up meeting a lot of people. Then obviously it's like you have like just you make different friends. And you end up in different parts of London. And you're just meeting different types of people. And it's like they're showing you new tunes. It's just like it's about different types of shit. So it's, in that sense, I would say, yeah, it shaped me in the sense where it's like it's giving me a point of view from different angles. So fried like I'm so bro.
No, it's calm, man. It's calm. And yeah, to be fair, London is it honestly, whenever I ask people a similar question to this, they always talk about how small London is, how everyone knows someone who knows someone.
So weird, like, but it's like it's kind of cool in that way because it's like, yeah, everyone has like a mutual understanding. It's like when you go outside of London and you meet someone from London, or you leave the country and you see someone from London, it's like that bond is just so, you know what I mean? Like you'll be like, oh, da 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 da, like, oh yeah, I know that spot, like da 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 da. But then you go to like other places, like they don't even know niggas in the next city over type shit. It's like it's weird, like I feel like that's kind of like that in like all of England, like realistically, like everyone knows someone in like any random city somewhere, like. So I don't know. It's kind of
exactly,
cool.
man. And everyone knows someone in London. That's the thing.
Yeah, like fam. I don't know, like London is some any hot spot, like bro. Everyone just comes here and just like I don't know. They run up the bills and just leave, man. It's funny.
That's very real.
They just come in for like two summers and say, "No, I'm not feeling it no more."
Exactly, man.
I don't know.
I want to talk about one of your previous statements in a previous interview. You mentioned sort of finding your sound with Relly and 40. So in a previous interview, you mentioned finding your sound alongside Relly and 40, and singing a lot more, as opposed to rapping. You mentioned, I'm just gonna quote what you said. That's why I feel like Don Toliver stole my whole sound for real.
That was cut. That was cut by his jokes, though. Because that's why I was like, nah, I'm never gonna lie. I still feel it, but at the same time, those are hard. So it's like I'm living upset. Plus, I have his preset, so it's not an issue.
You have his preset, like you have the.
It's hard, like it's really clean. Then obviously get like that's what I realized. I was taking it seriously when I got a preset.
that's honestly, man, I have to respect that because I will say, even when he doesn't have the effects on his voice, he has one of the most unique voices I've heard.
It's like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's nice. I just feel like I want to hear him do some other stuff, though. Like he's trying to like he's experimented more on his new album, but even still, like I feel like Don Toliver has the like he can sit in a lane where it's like, yo, make some R&B, like, you know what I mean?
But he could make some R&B. Yeah, that's actually crazy now that you say that.
You're a good singer.
Exactly. Do you know what it is? I think it's that there aren't enough people pushing him to do something different. You know what I mean? Like everyone loves what he's doing now, and he's just doing his own thing.
Bro, don't fix it, innit? Like, I wouldn't want it to just change just out of the blue, innit? Obviously, if it's working, like I make it keep working.
Yeah, exactly. In relation to the statement, my question was, would you say there are any other artists that you feel inspired by or are inspired by, or that you have inspired yourself at this point in your career? That's I feel like that's a pretty crazy thing to ask, but I wanted to keep it open, you know.
I feel like inspired in the sense where it's like they've probably heard something and felt like, oh shit, let me give it a try, innit? But I'm not saying someone stole my whole sound or nothing. Like I don't like it when people be doing that, like especially when like we're still underground and like when they come up and. But sometimes they're blatant. I have to be real. but then like I don't know. I would say yeah. But I don't know. I feel like that's just the nature of music. Like if someone listens to your shit, I don't know. They'll probably like they'll pick up on some shit. I don't know. or they want to be trying some shit. I don't know. Probably someone's heard my shit and thought, oh, let me try to sing it to him.
Yeah,
So I
man.
don't know.
Who would you say that you yourself inspired by? These don't need to be mainstream artists. These could even be people just in your day to day, I suppose.
Oh no, I heard that. I would say I'm more time inspired just by like, yeah, the man that really kind of like, a lot of my friends do make music, and it's just like, yeah, it kind of just like, yeah, it just shows me something new that you can do, innit? That makes sense. Like, yeah, it gives you like, I don't know, when I have an idea and I see the man them, like one of the man them, like execute, it gives me like less anxiety about it. That makes sense. So like, I fuck with that. Like. But I don't know. I would say in terms of like, I don't know, in terms of artists, it's weird because like at this point, like I can firmly say like most of my music is like influenced by me. So it's like I feel like, yeah, if you come to Baski, you know you're gonna get at this point, innit? So like I like that. I would say before it's mainly just the American artists. Like it's like I don't know. I would say I don't know, you know. I actually don't know. Yeah, I don't know because it's like because I would say the easier question to ask would be like, what do I listen to growing up? Because I was like, the stuff I listen to don't really sound like the shit I make. Like, if that makes sense. So I don't know
Yeah.
what really what I mean.
What would you say? Okay, so who would you say is someone that is high on your radar right now? Who would you say that you've been listening to a lot of recently?
Okay, let's talk, bro. Are you mad? Because what's it? I'm not gonna lie, yeah. Since what's it? Oh, what's that tape again? The one with Plus More, yeah. That tune there, my guy. Tears have been shed to that song, bro. Like, Callisto's hard. Like, he goes crazy. Then like, obviously, I listen to a lot of I listen to a lot of Jim Legacy. Jim been going crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he been one of my favorite artists. Like, that's the inspiration. I'm not gonna lie, because it's just like, just does everything. Like, he just does it. Like, it's just like you'll hear something like he does, and you're just like, how can you do that? It's just like don't make sense. But I fuck with it still, and I don't know, cause like it's annoying, cause like all the tunes that I've listened to from the man, like a lot of them aren't out, cause these man are like don't really drop music like that. But it's
Yeah.
bro, it's jarring, cause it's like. I know for a fact, like, bro, half these men, like, if you just drop tunes, like, bro, you be clear right now. Like, niggas would like you more than me, like. And it's just like, yeah, bro. But it's hard to just drop music sometimes. I deep, it's like a more like an anxiety, but it's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot of pressure in it, like releasing music. I feel like
Yeah.
'cause you got to put like time, effort, and bread into like even just a single in it. So it's like I don't know. Sometimes like you'll drop something and it's like does okay, but then it's just like, cool. I don't know, getting back into the habit of just consistently dropping, it's just hard to do sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I
I
do
don't know.
see, honestly, the whole promotion thing does seem like it just seems long to me, you know?
That is like, yeah, bro, it's annoying, but it's just like you have to find other ways to promote the music. Like at this point, realistically, I feel like we all know that you just have to promote yourself, and then you literally just be like, oh wait, I made music, and then like people will listen to the music. But I feel like that's why I'm kind of glad in a sense where it's like, cool. I don't really need to be seen where it's like when people are hearing the music and they fuck with the music. That's why I just like, yeah, I just stay indoors and vibe.
Exactly, man. I feel that. I feel that. I want to talk about some of two tracks in particular, which have numerous voices on it, Hype
Yeah.
and Kush times two. Um,
Oh no,
personally,
that's
I
couche.
find,
That's
sorry, pardon?
couche. It's pronounced couche.
Couche. How?
I think
How
it's
is
like
it pronounced
Caribbean.
couche? Because couche.
Yeah, I said couche, couche. I forgot what it means. Like one of my friends told me what it means one time. Like I genuinely forgot, but it means something cool. So it's not just some bullshit.
Kush
Like
A, but
couche, couche, like
It's
couche,
spelled
couche.
Kush X2.
No, there's an e at the end. The
Oh
mistake.
wow. It is
Yeah,
Kush A.
yeah.
Yeah, nah, sorry, I'm losing my mind. Apparently, yeah, sorry, that's on me. I was so confused. I'm sorry. That was nasty of me. You have multiple voices on that. Honestly, it's pretty easy for me to grasp two features on a track, but when I see people who have like three, four, five voices on the same track, that just, I don't know. It's the dynamic in the studio at the time, kind of like not confuses me a bit, but it's a bit difficult to grasp sometimes. So can you explain what the dynamics like when you get more than, one extra voice on the track?
It really depends. Like, depends on the track. Because I would say sometimes, like, say if it's like one of them energy tunes, yeah, and you go like 10 man, like in the studio, like cool, like just like, yeah, everyone gets like 8 bars, like just have a fun thing, innit? That's so calm. That's the time of your life, innit? But then when it's one of them tunes where like, nah, niggas are trying to pour their heart and soul into like every bar, every line, like make it meticulous. That's long, man. Like, cause you'll be there for hours. Like, you'll drop your verse. Like, oh, I'll drop a hook, and I'm just waiting for niggas. Like, I don't really like that. So it's like, I don't know. So that the only time I've been on a tune where it's been like 5, 6 man, yeah, it's been like, I want to say, what is it? For the summer. For the summer, I had great guys on it, but it was just verses getting sent off. Like me and Flexo did the tune in studio, then the verses got sent off in it. So it was
Yeah.
just like easier in it, easier for everyone. Cause I feel like, yeah, man, like studio is like, it's like, I'm not like, music's like football, innit? Like your studio is like your home ground, innit? So going to a next man's studio feels like an away game, innit? Like the pressure's on, man.
I feel that, man. I
Yeah,
feel that. Yeah. Was
sometimes you're
it
not really performing. Yeah.
was it for the summer or something like that?
Yeah, for the summer I had like 5, 6 guys on it. It was a hard start. But I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, for the summer was like one of the tunes I was like, okay, this is sick. Like, because there's a lot of people I've been wanting to work with for time in it, and I got to work with them. So that was sick. And then like obviously like everyone just loved it. Like when we used to perform, like when we performed it, like I was surprised like how many men was just like singing the words back. Which is like you always get surprised. You're just like, right, I fully don't know you, but you're just saying every bar to me. I'm just like, that's cool.
That must be cool, man. Yeah, that must be a crazy feeling just going bar for bar with people like in the crowd. That's crazy.
Bro, it's so mad. Like, your bear just crying about your ex, and niggas just like, yeah, bro, same. Like, just like, fam, I feel it. Like, bro, I miss her too. Fam, here.
So you're
So,
like, swear, why do you know who my ex is? Like, what do you mean?
bro, at this point, I'm not gonna lie, man. Sometimes you need someone to talk to. Like, if we can both relate, fuck it, man. Let's cry. Let's
Yeah,
cry.
exactly, man. I feel that. I feel that. I do have only one or two questions left before I let you go on your way, Baski. Um, what can we expect next from you in the short term? So for the rest of this year, basically, because we are essentially a quarter of the way through the year already, which is a bit scary. But talk to me about that. What can we expect next from Baski?
So obviously, like we said, by the time this is out, Make It Sexy would have been out. So boom, I would say in between Make It Sexy and the rest of the year, I want to say maximum 2 projects in that time, and then a lot more singles. Then like yeah, I've started to produce recently, so like I want to drop a few tunes that I self-produced, and hopefully a self-produced hit by the end of the year. But I don't know, I might hold off until next year. But I don't know. This year is definitely gonna be busy. Like on top of that, though, I want to get booked for more shows. I can't. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
everything's in God's hands, man. We'll make it happen, though.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Um, I do have one more question before I let you go on your way, and I ask this question to everyone. It's it's a classic on the show at this point,
Yeah, sure.
and yeah, let's just get into it. You are heard by everyone on Earth for 10 seconds. What do you say?
Make it sexy out now.
I feel that.
Oh, what's it? I'm saying that. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Realistically, it depends where I'm at in life. If my bitch is not with me, I'm claiming her back. I'm like, yo, spam her. No, but then I can't lie. I would just tell everyone, give me a pound. Go home.
You're a billionaire.
Like 8 times over.
Exactly, man.
I'm buying the whole ends. Like I'm buying Barkin.
Exactly. Now you can claim to be from London. You can finally claim to be from London. If you're
No, you know what it is, bro. I would do a referendum. I'm being so real. I've been screaming, barking and dagging them. We need to just do our own thing because we're not getting the love and respect we need. Because the Essex man ain't trying to claim us. London ain't trying to claim us. You know what? We're really our own people. We're taking Ilford as well. No one can say anything.
But
Ilford, like, that's us.
The Democratic Republic of Barking and Dagenham or something like that. Is that what it is?
Barkling and Daglanta, bro. We rise. But I don't know.
Daglanta is crazy.
Bro, I love that. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's a thing where it's like, if I had that in secondary school, bro, I'd be tagging that everywhere, bro. I'd be going to Central, like, Daglanta, stand up. Like, bro, I'd be in motors and Tims and that, just moving militant, fam. I don't know. I just want to make sure that, the people are fed. And that's why the referendum is needed. Vote for Baski. Can't see him. Now, scratch music, that's what I'm doing this year. Yeah. Political. Yeah. That's what I'm on.
Doing up manifestos and all of that. I feel that.
Doing whatever I can.
I think that's a good place to close off this episode. Yeah, I think that is a good place. So, listeners, watchers, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you guys all go check out Baski's most recent track on all platforms, Better Than Me, which isn't his most recent track at the time of this coming out. It will actually be Make It Sexy, the EP, the project. And Baski, let us know if you've got anything you would like to say before we close off.
I would like to say, shout out to the Free, shout out to Women, shout out to Finch, shout out to all the men there. Make It Sexy. I don't know. Tell your mom you love her. Get your money up, man. That's it. I miss my bitch.
You know the vibes, man. You know the vibes. I miss mine as well. She doesn't exist yet, but I still miss her. All right,
manifestations. It's coming.
Exactly. All right, cool. Guys, make sure you like and subscribe and all of that. Baski, please tell the people to subscribe because they'll be pissing me off lately.
Comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Send it to your whole family on WhatsApp. Love you.
WhatsApp, Facebook, whatever, guys. Come on, you know the vibes. All right, cool. All right. Thank you, guys, for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Keep it real. Drink water, and I will see you later. Alligators.